Today we step into the ring with SmackDown vs. Raw 2009.
And we've got the latest on Mercenaries 2. X-Play starts right now.
X-Play, TV's most watched video game show.
Today on X-Play, we preview WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Break out your folding chair and best crowd-pleasing move. Then, our Will Work for Game series looks at how Japanese games make it to this side of the Pacific without losing anything in translation. Plus, the virtual audience takes over the studio. We've got answers to all your pressing questions. Saddle up, it's game time.
To X-Play. This show is full of retcons, so pay attention. I'm Kristen Holt.
And I'm Morgan Webb. Adam is on assignment, a fascinating foreign diplomat. It's Friday, April 4th, and we're coming to you from the G4 studios in Los Angeles. On today's show, we will spell out the future and unleash our final 4 picks.
Plus, we'll preview the game where you pretend you're the star in a make-believe sport, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Very meta. And in Made in Japan, we'll show you an Operation Darkness, a RPG that combines 2 of our favorite enemies, Nazis and zombies. But first, Morgan's got all of the day's top stories in our gaming update.
Mercenaries 2 World in Flames will finally be released here in the US on August 31st for the PC, PS3, PS2, and the Xbox 360. Developed by Pandemic Studios, this open-world action game will give players the freedom to blow up everything in sight after signing dangerous contracts to make some cold hard cash. The game will support both single-player and co-op modes, giving gamers plenty of options to straighten out the game's fictional, overthrown Venezuelan government. The Australian Office of Film and Literature Classification has asked Rockstar Games to tone down some of the content in Grand Theft Auto 4. Not one to mess with Australian laws, Rockstar says they have produced an edited version of GTA 4 for our friends down under, but haven't revealed what content will be trimmed for the release. Epic Games and Intel are offering $1 million in prizes through the newly announced Make Something Unreal contest. This unique offer gives Unreal Tournament 3 modders a chance to win a grand prize of an Unreal Engine 3 license. Other prizes include a slew of high-end PCs injected with the latest Intel hardware. Modders can create their own weapons, characters, vehicles, and environments for the PC version of Unreal Tournament 3. Judging begins in June, and the prizes will be awarded in the fall of 2009. That's all for today's gaming update. Be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. But now, let's go over to Kristen, who has a preview that is tested clean for performance-enhancing drugs.
Yes, it has. Thank you, Morgan. The 10th edition of the top-selling WWE SmackDown vs. Raw finally answers the burning question of how many ways are there to cripple a man? Evidently, the answer is 500. The number of animations they've included in their new Creative Finisher feature. Find out more in our preview. If you love getting raw or laying the SmackDown, then hold on to your tight.
There's so much to talk about for SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. We have a lot of new features this year. We have the new creative finishing move. What that means is that you can customize it any way you want. You can change the animation speeds. You want to add a bunch of rotations to it. You can even name your finisher. Creative finisher can be used for either your creative superstars or WWE wrestlers. So if you want to create a brand new move for John Cena, you can go ahead and do that.
THQ is also pinning some major changes on its tag team matches.
The tag team match is getting a complete overhaul. What's missing from the tag team match is the drama, working as a team, what you can do as the illegal partner. All these things are missing, and we want to add that this year. So now you can go ahead and distract the referee, and your partner can go ahead and whack some guy with the chair. Or you can go ahead and grab a hold of the partner, have your partner wail on them. We're adding the hot tag feature. That means when you're down and out, your partner's crawling to the ropes, he's reaching, he hits the tag, and your partner goes crazy. He just goes in there, knocking everyone out, hitting his finisher.
And if you like to lay the SmackDown with your Wii, not only will you be able to grapple online, you'll get to add your own moves to your favorite superstars.
This year we're going to have interactive entrance and victory scenes. What's cool about that is you're actually going to be able to take your favorite superstar, and there's different interactive points set up like at the head of the ramp. Once you get in the ring, you actually have options of what you want to do. You're going to be using the Wii remote to do the John Cena word life or salute, throw your hat into the crowd. Kind of on par with that is the interactive victory scene. So after the match, just watch a guy celebrate. You can actually choose what you want to do. You're going to have the option, hey, I'm going to shake his hand, raise his arm, or hey, I'm going to attack him. So a lot of stuff you see on TV, you're going to actually be doing.
And if you love to watch people kicking other people's butts, then you'll have lots of fun when the game comes out this holiday season.
2 weeks ago, we made our picks for the NCAA Sweet 16 and went 6-2, which is pretty good. So if you want to know the results of the Final Four, listen up. Thanks to the 360 and some voodoo, we're bound to get at least one of these right. And then there were 4. It's time to find out which 2 teams move on from the Final Four and which 2 teams will never get over the heartbreak of what might have been. Let's get to it. I got a bookie to call. No, that would be wrong. Let's get to it. North Carolina versus Kansas. 2 historical programs, both #1 seeds. But one will be a little bit better. Or should I say, way better. North Carolina steamrolls over Coach Roy Williams' former team, 88-67, bringing the Tar Heels one step closer to their 5th NCAA title. Then we have UCLA versus Memphis. These 2 teams met before in the tournament back in 2006. UCLA won then, and according to the Xbox 360, UCLA will win again.
That is a dagger in the heart.
UCLA will show no love to Memphis in this matchup. I take that back. They show some love. Kevin Love.
Gets it.
That's a whole lot of love right there.
This is the big time.
UCLA wins a close one, 84-81. Who will win that final game? We'll find out on Monday, but I know Adam is hoping UCLA will be having one more shining moment to enjoy.
There's a special bond that happens between soldiers on a battlefield, but that all changes when you put diamond-encrusted guns, cash, and hockey masks into the equation. Whereas an Army grunt might talk about his family and coming home, mercenaries have an entirely different perspective on things.
Oh, come on! Salem, get down! What are you doing? Trying to get cell service. I just remembered that taxes are almost due. I need to ask my accountant something.
Oh, you have an accountant?
Don't you?
No, I do my own. Form 1040 Easy.
Oh, holy bro, you're giving the government money.
No, it can't be that bad. I got over $12,000 back last year. How much you get?
$420,000.
Damn it! Are you kidding?
No way. Fire in the hole!
How is that even possible?
Write-offs. I write everything off related to being a mercenary. Diamond and gold plating on guns, more guns, bullets, awesome masks, water, Pantera albums, Sherpas, duct tape, Slim Jims, sex industry workers.
Hookers?
They prefer the term call girl or lady of the night, bro. And yes, you haven't?
I've never even been with a lady of the night.
What? I sent one up to your room after you saved my ass in Thailand.
Oh, man, I thought she was a maid. I asked her to straighten up.
But she was wearing a saran wrap bikini.
It was hot in the room. I thought she was just trying to keep cool.
I told her to work the base
It
of
made
it.
me uncomfortable, so I went for a walk. Damn it! Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm shot. I'm gonna die out here.
Shh. It's not that bad. You can make it.
It's really cold, Salem. I can hardly see you. Tell me about the farm we were gonna have.
Okay. Some guys got no family. They ain't got nobody in the world that gives a hoot and hell about them.
But not us. Not us.
Because I got you. Look across the river, Rios, and I'll tell you so you can almost see it. You're gonna get a little place, and you get to tend to the rabbits, bro.
Live on the fat of the land.
Rios!
You are with me, we will be forever. You are with me, together for all time. Ooh. Coming up on X-Play, we go to the land of the rising sun to expose ourselves to the outrageous import Operation Darkness. Then, in Will Work for Games, find out how these Japanese gems make it to our shores in a coherent fashion. Well, somewhat coherent. And the virtual audience is here. Stay tuned.
Hi my name is Layla L, WWE Diva, and you are watching X-Play. Stay tuned, because you do not want to miss what's coming next.
Wow, man, it's 420 on G4. They're rolling dank nugs of awesomeness all day. First up, it's the Stoner Classic Half-Baked. Then it's Attack of the Show from Jamaica, man, and a new Code Monkey special.
420, dude!
That's Half-Baked, AOTS from Jamaica, Code Monkeys, and a bunch of other gnarly stuff. All starting April 20th at 1 on G4. How many other networks would do this? Zero many. That's how many, man.
Welcome back to X-Play. Call me crazy, but Saving Private Ryan lacked a lot of World War II staples. You know, things like zombies, werewolves, and dragons. The good people at Atlas are looking to right that wrong in the game Operation Darkness. It could only be made in Japan. X-Play has, let's say, a troubled history with World War II, just like Germany. We get it. It's a great setting for a game. But the problem is, at this point, we've reviewed enough games set between 1939 and 1945 to wrap our entire building in their game manuals, Jean-Claude and Christo style. That's why I was less than thrilled to review Operation Darkness for our Made in Japan segment. It's your typical uninspired tactical turn-based battle between the Axis and the Allies. Boring. Hey, there's the ever-present Panzer tank. Oh, look, there's the plucky British regiment. Gosh, there's the same old Nazi brigade rising from the dead as unstoppable zombies. Wait, what? Yes, it seems like the real reason the Nazis were so evil wasn't all that European land-grabbing xenophobia, but their ability to harness the powers of hell itself to forge a relentless army of the undead. Finally, here's a World War II game I can get behind. It seems to be pretty much the usual story. Stuck behind enemy lines, your team of expert British troops has to fight off wave after wave of Germans. Only this time, they don't stay dead. You know, I thought about making a portmanteau of Nazis and zombies, but the only thing I could come up with was not-zombies, which sounds like not zombies, but they're clearly zombies. And would you like to know the craziest, kookiest, most outrageous thing about Operation Darkness? It's a Japanese game made exclusively for the Xbox 360. I thought the only people in Japan that had 360s were American expats and electronics store owners who couldn't foist the consoles in the general Japanese public. Think of the amazing voice acting possibilities here. If there's anything funnier than zombies clamoring for brains, it's zombies clamoring for brains in German accents.
Ich wünsche brains.
Yeah, there we go. Zombie Nazis. A concept so crazy, it could only have been made in Japan.
Early video games like Pong and Space Invaders were so simple that anyone could grasp them, no matter what continent they were on. Today's games are chock full of text, cutscenes, and pop culture references, so when games would get released worldwide, it's a localizer's job to make sure nothing gets lost in the translation. Today's Will Work for Games shows you how they do it. If you can play a Japanese video game, thank a translator.
Keep my words.
Or really anyone involved in the process of localization.
Hell yeah!
Here's how it works.
We take Japanese games, translate them in English, and then release them so that people over here can read and enjoy the game.
But it's not all that simple.
Just because you can translate or edit doesn't mean you're a good translator or a good editor.
What are you talking about?
You just have to be creative. You gotta be able to grasp the feel of the sequence or the event and then translate it into your own way. Every time you see arigato in Japanese, you can't translate it into thank you because it would be boring.
Hold your tongue.
Not only that, but space limitations can prove to be quite a challenge.
In Japanese, you can fit an entire sentence in 8 characters. So usually the game will have this much room for a character's name, and their name ends up being like Witch of Ice and Shadow of the Darkness, who was about to destroy the world. And you have to just find some way to cram it in there.
And there's a lot of work that goes into the editing process.
we take the Japanese translation and then edit it into better English, usually by adding characteristics, like the people, making sure all the themes fit, taking the items and making sure they all fit the world, and pretty much just going through everything that needs to be changed in the game.
Get 'em! Sounds pretty exciting, right?
I wouldn't say exciting. It's definitely long hours staring at the monitor, typing up stuff. But it is really rewarding when you see the testers playing and laughing at your jokes.
They talk so much they give me a headache.
I know that I'm making Atlas fans happy, and that's the part that I love about this show.
So everybody wins, thanks to the unsung heroes of game localization.
I leave the rest to you.
Get an unprecedented look at this summer's hottest and most anticipated games with XPlay's Summer Games Preview. We'll show you what games you need to save up for with 5 days of in-depth coverage. You'll get exclusive first looks, hands-on demos, and never-before-seen footage. Starting off with a 1-hour Grand Theft Auto 4 special. XPlay's Summer Games Preview starts April 28th. Check out g4tv.com/summergames for info and updates.
When XPlay returns, Morgan and I will field all of your questions in the virtual audience. Stay tuned.
Fans and critics agree Attack of the Show is time well wasted. Testify! One of the coolest shows on TV. Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7 and 10, only on G4. Now as a G4 podcast.
Welcome back to XPlay. According to The Cure, it's Friday and I'm in love with answering questions from our viewers via Stickcam.
We'll try to do some of this, with a degree of honesty, okay? Let's welcome the virtual audience.
First up, we have Anthony from Philadelphia. Anthony, what's your question?
Hey guys, I had to bring up the recent leaks of the GTA 4. You think these could possibly be purposeful links just to lure more people to the game and generate hype? If not, do you think it's really hurting anyone?
Well, first we should talk about what was leaked. We had achievements, we had some maps, we had information about the multiplayer, and they should have been weird places. Like something showed up in a European, I think it was a French gaming magazine. It was a very bizarre place to leak something.
I agree, yes.
But so there's a question whether or not these things were actually leaked, or whether or not Rockstar decided to let some information go and pretend it wasn't. I mean, does that really bother you, how it got leaked, if it was purposeful or not purposeful?
It doesn't bother me at all. If they had a meeting about it and said, hey, let's leak this out to try and sell some more games, I don't really care. I kind of like knowing little things in advance.
You feel like you know a little bit more information.
Exactly.
Anthony, does it bother you?
No, not at all.
Sweet, I'm glad we all agree.
It actually kind of bothers me.
It does?
I think it's a little disingenuous.
Ah.
I think it's like bringing up. I don't know. I don't really like it. But people like it. That's fine.
Okay. Well, I agree with you, Anthony.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Next, we've got Tyler coming to us from Texas, and Tyler, I already like you because you're from Texas, my friend.
Thank you.
What's your question?
I bet Tyler knows what a javelina is.
Oh yeah, he does. What's your question?
My question is, what was the first system or console that you ever owned or played?
Ooh, my first console was the NES, and my favorite game was Marble Madness.
Marble Madness is a good one. It's hard though.
I know. I loved it though. And at the time I was so young, I didn't even realize when I would cheat and stuff. I was like, what just happened? My ball just went to another level. And I thought it was like magic.
My first system was the Atari 2600, and I liked Combat, which was the tank game, because it was the same game, but you could change little variables and make it totally different.
Nice.
So I thought anyway.
Yeah. Very cool. What was your first one?
I started out on the Atari and went straight to NES.
Nice. Very cool. Thanks, Tyler.
Up next is Josh from California. Take it away, Josh.
Yeah, I was wondering, will the DualShock 3 controllers have a 6-axis ability?
Well, yes, they will. The DualShock 3 will have 6-axis. It's going to replace the old controller, so you're not really going to be able to buy the old non-DualShock controller anymore once they run out. So basically they pack both features into that one controller, which of course they said was impossible, right?
They did, yes, but apparently it's not.
Apparently they figured it out. Yeah. It's amazing what they can do. And of course, it's pretty expensive. It's around $50 to get one. Are you going to get one?
Eventually, as soon as I get more games that include the Rumble feature.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, thanks for your question, Josh. And finally, we have James from Minnesota. What's on your mind, James?
In what situation are sequels better than originals?
I think in video games.
Yeah, I think pretty much every video game, right?
I mean, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but it's just funny because, you know, movies, the sequel is almost always worse.
Right, exactly. Always.
Almost
Legally
always.
Blonde 2, not as good as the first one, I'm going to tell you right now.
That's an excellent point. I mean, the thing is, like, they've spent all that time on the artwork and the levels and getting the feel for the game. So in the second one, they take all of the assets they've already created, and basically they can spend that time polishing and perfecting. I mean, Call of Duty 4 is an amazing game. It's the 4th iteration of the series. I guess there's also some, you know, Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, when you can't wait. Okay, good point. When you can't wait for like Call of Duty 5 to come out, that's when you know it's a good. The sequels are definitely getting better and better.
Yeah. And one day maybe the movies will learn from video games.
I think so.
We hope. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks to you guys for all of your questions.
Without limitations on greenhouse gases, the world would succumb to a phenomenon known by scientists as X-Play Replay.
This week we reviewed Obscure the Aftermath. This Resident Evil wannabe isn't pretty. 2 out of 5.
Ninja Reflex contains a measly 6 mini-games, and most of them aren't that fun. It only gets 2 throwing stars out of 5.
Lost in Blue 3 has more children stranded on a deserted island, and we really wish they had drowned at sea. Again, another 2.
Then despite the clunky title, Monica Mia Alchemist of Alrivas is actually a solid RPG. This trip through Magic School grabbed a 4.
That is it for this week, but be sure to tune in for all new episodes of X-Play every weeknight at 8. On Monday, we'll preview WiiWare, the new downloadable game store for the Wii.
Plus, I'll have a cheat to help you out in Viking Battle for Asgard. Then we'll have a review of Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Fez. And later in the week, we cater to those who fear consoles, and we'll give you our take on Assassin's Creed for the PC.
Plus, we'll be talking about the 2008 big ones, Spore, Little Big Planet, Resident Evil 5, and more.
See you next time. Thanks for watching.